Yeah, so thank you for coming and joining. It's really beautiful to see you all here in this Q&A to learn about facilitating plant medicine spaces connected with the Shipibo medicine. Um, and I invited only like a small group of people who were have the feeling or who mentioned that they are interested in finding their role in becoming a facilitator or are interested to facilitate retreats, or people who dieted already several times with us, who already are helping me with True Journey, what I value very, very much. Um, and yeah, because I feel like not only True Journey, also other centers I know are really looking for good facilitators. And what I mean with good is facilitators who have experience with plant medicine, who are going in their own healing process deep, because I feel like we only can hold a space for others as much as we can hold space for ourselves. And we only can provide a deep space for others as deep as we are able to go for ourselves. So their own healing journey and confronting their own shadows and all the things which belong to our own life and journey is a very, very important part for me to also offer holding space for others. And for me, the experience someone has and is going through makes a facilitator more profound and more skilled than reading books or participating in trainings and courses. And of course, both together is important and has value. But for me personally, I would prefer to be held on a deep journey by someone who experienced a lot on their own healing journey. I would feel more safe than someone who can shows a lot of trainings and certificates. So what I like to continuing creating and weaving with True Journey is the possibility for people to diet, going deep in their own processes, but also learning about facilitation. And there are certain programs who offer like very, very deep and profound, I think, theoretically trainings. Um, and I don't see myself offering that. But what I like to contribute to people who want to become a facilitator or finding the role is the practical setup to come to diet and learning with the plants and going through their own journey, but then also creating space where people can help, like some of you already did, helping with certain tasks and things during the retreat. But then also what I feel or what I would love to offer is what we do here right now online, and what we also started to offer in our retreats, like a Q&A, where we meet and sit together, and based on what's happening practically in the retreat, also offering the space for Q&As. Hey, Ute, why did you respond like that? Or how do you how what did you experience in that and that ceremony? Or how is the integration going with that and that trauma response? Or if these and that energies are getting unlocked, like how is the Icaro working with that? How do you support people in integration? Like, we already created these spaces in the retreat to ask questions, but I also feel like or to practice or to explore the possibility to offer that online, um, and to see where it goes. So it's an experiment, and I feel just called to provide space with True Journey practically and in these Q&As, um, to maybe support people on their journey of becoming a facilitator. So thank you for joining. And I'm looking forward for all the questions you have or topics. Everything is welcome. Um, everything is welcome, and I will give my best to respond from my present being here. Um, and yeah, maybe let's just start. So yeah, please feel free, whatever type of questions you have regarding facilitating or things you experienced and you're curious, to bring it here into the space to discuss it. And maybe even other people from you also. If someone asks the question, I'm answering, responding. If someone has something to add, that's also welcome. So I would love to have like a communication discussion about topics, questions you bring in. Yay, Simon.
I'll go first. Hi, everyone. Most of you I don't know, apart from Patricia. I was in the jungle retreat. I hope you're all well and having a great integration process. Yeah, Otil, what was interesting for me, I just remember um, coming to you or wanting to come and chat to you at some point during the retreat. And just kind of having this fear in expressing myself that I was then going to offend you. And in particular, that what that was around was I was having a lot of doubts about the medicine, about why I was there, about the tradition, and I know you've got such a strong connection to your family and things like that. And so um and but also I was raw and revealed and was feeling not so sure of how well I would be able to articulate myself kind of diplomatically. And yeah, and I remember having this fear, but I came to you anyway, and you just had this amazing ability to put your passion and your connection to the family and the medicine and things just like completely aside and just be present for me and my process. And I just wanted to understand how do you actually do that, because you're also there with us in ceremony. It's a late night for you. You've got other things going on. You're organizing the beach retreat, and you had some other personal things going on as well. And it's like I kind of felt like you had a lot going on, and that I was really grateful for the way that you were able to be available for me. But there was a big part of me that had fear of coming to you with it, but also, um, yeah, I wasn't sure that I was going to, yeah, create some kind of conflict between us. And so, if you could talk a little bit to that.
There's so many things I hear and feel. Like the question is, how am I, do I understand right? How do I connect to someone who brings a certain intention and topic without go and putting all the other things by side?
Yeah, in particular,
Mhm.
the your love and connection to the
Mm,
medicine and to the family and the tradition, because I
okay.
can't remember the exact details, but yeah, I
Yeah.
was I
Yeah.
was questioning some of those things.
Yeah. So my love for the medicine and the appreciation for the maestra, I never put that by side. That's always deep in my heart. And like my intention is if someone comes, in my role as a facilitator or as a guide, or how I see, I want to offer the bridging. I want to offer, like my main intention is, to create a space where I can offer linkages or connections or reflections about the personal process from the person who comes mentally, emotionally, physically, somatically, spiritually, and what I experience with the plant medicine and the realms of the plant medicine and the Shipibo medicine with the Icaro and all the different angles, how in the jungle, like the vapor bases, the flower bases, all that works together. So I see myself offering first, see you, feel you, and sense you, like the person who comes, like really feeling the person. For me, it goes a lot about feeling. And if I feel and sense the person, well, then my dietas or the things I learned with the plants, and of course also other trainings I did, they come somehow in this space and guide me with that. I don't have a plan. I don't know what someone brings in, but it's like the intuition and the feeling what guides me. But first, I anchor myself what I feel with the individual. Like the individual who comes, I want to anchor myself with compassion and feel where are you at? Where are you at? What's actually happening inside of you? This is where I go. That's my intention. I want to pick you up. I want to be there with you because it's about you. It's not about what I feel or think about the medicine. That's not my intention, right? I'm there to see where are you? What are you feeling? And then I allow things to unfold to offer a bridge or a reflection with the things I experience connected with your experience. And then from there, the things are unfolding because it's not my intention to share with you how much I trust and how great I think everything is. It's my intention to feel you and to sense you and how I can offer support to you in that present moment. And this goes for me through feeling you. And there's sometimes the compassion and sometimes there's the empathy, right? And through that, things are unfolding and weaving in. And then that what comes through, I offer as reflections or guidance or thoughts, ideas to explore. Is that answering your
Yeah,
question?
thank you. Yes,
Yeah,
thank you.
thank you.
Actually, may I just add, Simon, actually, that's actually one of the questions also. Actually, one of the questions which also was embedded in there was, how are you able to do it all, right? Because Ute is so busy, right? How do you take care of yourself? And perhaps Ute will also talk a little bit about that. But just for me, because I was fortunate enough to be able to participate in question and Q&A every other day at the ocean retreat. And I learned so much. And so actually then when I facilitated a retreat in the Netherlands, a week after the ocean retreat ended, my gosh, the quality of my own facilitation just by really tapping into my own feeling, where I felt the other person and asking very, very simple question, very much asking that person, what are they feeling, has just been extraordinary in terms of being to more effectively facilitate and allow people really to go deep and work with the medicine. So very, very powerful. So thank you, Ute. But maybe you want to also answer that embedded question about how do you do it all? Because, you're up all night and then, you're up busy around, so we talked about that during the ocean retreat, but it was also embedded in Simon's question, I think.
I think it's, facilitating a group for me, like the intention is really there, like, hey, these people come here because they trust me and they trust the offer from True Journey. So I put my focus and intention and energy in that, and of course, if I'm not needed by someone, maybe my mind or my energy goes into other topics. But my main intention is like really, if I'm during the retreat, I'm here. My main job is being here, holding the space and being aware what the people bring in, what they need, and being present with them. And I think it's about, you know, um, really giving it focus. What is the most important thing? And the plants. I mean, like for me, like the plants are helping me to guide my energy and to create the awareness and to connect with the humans to feel and see them and creating having a space and seeing the different people in the space and noticing the energies. When are they going with the plants and the plants are the teacher, and when are these ooh, ooh, okay, I feel something, I need having a communication or a connection or checking in with a person. I think it's the intention, you have. And it's a retreat space, it's an intense space, so you need to give it the intention. As for me, it's I give in that time, and I have to give that and that the intention. And I want to, and I choose to.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And I remember you also talking about it, but I'm just reflecting, when I did the retreat in the Netherlands, it was 1 week and there were 5 facilitators, right? And 15 people. You had 6 weeks, and I think it
Mhm.
varied from 9 to 12 people, right? And you had some
Mhm.
support, but
Mhm.
the bulk was on you. And so,
Mhm.
I just really want
Mhm.
to honor
Yeah.
that is a
Mhm.
huge,
But there's
yeah.
the maestra, right? The maestra who
Mm.
does the energetically work. And there was my other facilitator helper with classes, and there are the plants. So dieta, the work we do, the plants are the teachers. And if the maestra, that's the work of the shaman, what is the maestra? I'm the assistant and I'm the bridging, but the maestra is setting up the energetically worlds and connecting, the students, the plant students with the plans to create this energetically flow. So the maestra is doing all this energetically work. And it's about that mainly, you know. So it's different than other retreats. Like she does the energetically work where the healing with the plant energies helps. I'm the nurse who helps, you know, if things are coming up and the plant student is not fully yet there to do their own work with the plant, I'm there to facilitate and help. So the energetically set up, which is beyond the seen, not seen with the eye, maybe, depending, you know, how much your experience is with dieta, things, it's not seeing that. But the maestra who creates the Sama and the connection, that's a big part of the work, what happens, not visible maybe for that eye. What is big? What is the main work? What happens in True Journey retreats? Yeah. Yeah, thank you for the questions. Great. Who else has a question or topic? Yeah, Romy. Mhm.
Yeah. Hello together. Um, I have the question. It's going to Luke because I remember when I joined the Q&A, you said that Luke had really good questions and he didn't want to talk at that time about that because he was in his diet. So I'm curious what which questions he had and yeah, if you can talk about that.
Yes, Luke. I think it's a calling.
Yeah, if you give me 1 second, I can take a look back at my notebook and see if I can find them. Well, one of my first questions to her was because she holds different trainings and such, as well as the work with the plants, when her own intellectual knowledge fails, and it's at this point with like, this person is telling me this and this, maybe it's heavy emotionally. What do I do? How do I hold space for this person? And I won't speak for Uta, but Uta just said that the main work that goes on in the diets is the sama itself and the work with the plants. So Uta, do you want to piggyback from there?
Yeah, I don't remember what I answered weeks back, but yeah, like what I understand is like if someone comes with a huge topic, or I remember, Luke, you brought also this in, if someone is very angry or very upset, or you know, something, or someone is in a very deep pain or something, someone brings something towards me, and Luke asked me, I think, if what are you doing if you don't know what to do? If there's like this overwhelm or something, right?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So for me also there, like how I work with people, it's really this presence, meeting someone in a very, very present heart to heart. And like my heart feels, there is like an intuition, a feeling, a sense, how I respond, what to say. And I don't have the feeling that I pick up, oh, that's a technique, oh, that's a technique, oh, that's a technique. The beautiful thing is that with time, you do different trainings, you work with the plants, and it all weaves together. And I feel that the intuition, and I feel there is, you know, there is the plant intelligence in it, but there's also my life experience in it. There's the experience of my work. There's my heart and my compassion weaved in it. Is somehow there is a higher intelligence which is guiding and weaving me what to say or not to say, when to be quiet, or which question to ask. I'm not consciously having a plan. It's flowing all together. Um, so you know, there are moments when I feel, for example, strong emotions from someone, like anger or frustration, maybe also towards me, where I would say like, wow, I feel you, you know, there wow, I feel you're very angry, very upset. Do you want to sit down with me? Let's sit down, let's take a breath and seeing what is there. I really want to get you. I really want to feel where you are at, and let's see how we can explore that together, reflect on that together. I feel you have a very hard time right now, or if it's a lot of sadness or a lot of fear, I would also name it, wow, I feel there's a lot of sadness. Maybe there's disappointment. Like if people come with strong emotions, it's very good to acknowledge and feel and name the emotions. And hey, you're coming here. Let's sit down together. Let's take a breath and let's see, what's really happening there, And often I also reflect back. Give me a moment to feel into. I feel there's a lot right now happening. Let's just take a moment to really acknowledge what is there. Like I think it's very important to slow down and to create space to feel and see, okay, what's there? Um, or also to ask the person, when I have the feeling there's a lot. Okay, let's take a breath and maybe you can tell me what is like the most dominant right now. Like taking a breath, giving some time, space, and asking the person, like, what is there something present what you feel like you want to address with me first? Because I feel there's a lot, and I would like to know from you what is like the most urgent thing right now for you, or what are you feeling in your heart right now? Sometimes the people don't know. It's so much. It's so much. And then bringing the someone into the body. Let's take a breath. Okay, very slowly breathing, grounding, feeling the ground, like creating space so things can settle down. And then I never put myself in a position I know better than you, because it's not true. I'm there to feel with you, to sense with you, and let's find out together. We're in a collaboration here. We co-create together. And yes, I might have more experience with that and that, but you need to share with me so we can weave that in, so I can offer reflections or perspectives with you together. So these are things, when things are intense, how I usually naturally respond. Um, like what for me is the most difficult thing is if I feel someone is physically could get aggressive, you know. That's of course then it's around really physically safety as well, where I need to put a boundary, and say, hey, please take some distance, make a step back. I'm not feeling safe when you are like that. Usually that's or luckily that I was not often in that situation and not in true journey retreats. Um, but yeah, is that answering? Is that answering, Luke, what you asked? Or if there's another question coming with that? Maybe first Luke, because you
No,
brought it in.
uh,
Was that was that answering what you asked?
Um, yes, I would just include some of the other things you said when I was asking these questions presently. When
Yeah.
you don't know what to do, and back to the main work being with the plants, and the end, it's not so clear to you on what to do, that you call in the plants very strongly within
Yeah.
yourself and your own connection
Yes. Oh,
in a way
yes.
that's like,
Yes.
help me right now
Yes.
to
Yes.
bring.
Yes. 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 And that's
Mhm.
a very deep inner calling where you say, hey, no yarao, show me what to do here, And usually then there comes a feeling and a sensation. And the interesting thing is, like Nuya Rao is the strongest plant with me. But of course, there are the other plants as well. That sometimes if people are in a dieta and I call in the plant where the person is in dieta with, I like come here right now. Then very often the person who is in dieta, things are shifting and changing, and there comes a connection. And that's the power of when you are dieting long term. If you do that work, like calling in the plant, and and you find your own ways how to do that personally, individually, and energies are coming and connecting usually, or making things more harmonious or whatever. Yeah, very important. Yeah, thank you, Luke, for bringing that in. It's quite fascinating. Mm. Yeah, Simon.
Hi. I wanted to ask, you spoke about, that compassion and empathy coming in. And one of the things that I've experienced in myself, and I believe it's been like proven somehow that women are more compassionate and empathetic than men typically. There's we're all on a spectrum, but in general, still women are more skilled in that area. And as a result of that, and my experience with women, I can pick that up. So what I notice when I think about myself being in a facilitator role is that I sometimes feel that yeah, maybe a bit inadequate, that I don't necessarily have the required sort of level of compassion and empathy in order to do such a role. But obviously, as men, we have other things that we can bring to the party. And so I know you've worked with other male facilitators, and I was hoping that you could maybe share some of your experience around what
Mm.
you've admired in good men facilitators,
Yeah. I mean,
or maybe
I
with working
I
together with men, what they've brought.
yeah, I mean, like I think it's a practice how you tune in, and how you share and what you share. And the man where I worked with, in a few years ago, there were some men, they had like many years more experience than I did, and we facilitated together groups. And I did not have the feeling that they have a lack of compassion. Like I hear you, it's a different way of compassion, the masculine energy has a different way of compassion and a different way of connecting, and everyone is different. But what I appreciated when I remember working with men facilitators, which I who I really acknowledged that they often had more the mental explanations as well, you know, and and um and they could address it maybe mentally, but that doesn't mean there's no compassion or empathy. I never experienced that, and I maybe more the feeling and more the abstract, the abstractness. And the if I see like male facilitators with a lot of experience and depth, there comes maybe in also more the mental explanations and understanding of frequencies from the mind more than from myself. But I would not agree that I felt with experienced male facilitators a lack of compassion or empathy. Not at all. Not at all. Like the examples I have in my mind, no, I would not see that as I know you, Simon, in yourself. No. Mm. Mhm. Mhm. Jacqueline, do you have a question? You're dieting with us a while. You are growing in your role and also with supporting, others. I see that. Do you have a question?
I was just thinking from what you're answering right now, it's more like how do you create that space for yourself and the person? Like I'm trying to figure out how to ask this question, but
Mhm.
like we were talking about compassion and being compassionate, and if there's a lot going on, you might be tired as a facilitator. The ceremony was a lot. How do you recharge where you can? Because I find that if we get tired, maybe
Mhm.
compassion's not there or other moods kick in. So what do
Yeah.
you do,
Yeah.
if that makes
It's
sense?
a, it's a very, very good question, It's a very good question. And I think very often, that get neglect. Can I say that?
Mhm.
Um, and yeah, I think it's a very important thing is before retreats and after retreats to really look that you nourish yourself, and that you do a lot, that you feel mentally, emotionally, physically, and spiritually strong. And that's, I think, very, very important for people who facilitate longer retreats to do that and to take care. And then during the retreat, I think it's important to learn what has priority, and when to put boundaries. Like to notice when, for me at least, to notice when someone really needs help, to have the energy when someone really needs help. But then if someone just wants to talk and share, to also be clear, like, hey, I don't have the energy just for talking, sharing right now. Do you have something very profound where you really need help? Then I'm there. But if not, I don't have the energy for that. And I learned that with the time, but also explaining it in advance to people like, hey, it's a lot to hold. So I'm there if there's really something going on. I'm fully there, but I cannot provide just talking, because these are the times where I need, to focus on myself, to have a rest, or to be in silence, or to nourish myself in some ways. And then, of course, the other point is to make sure, if the groups have more people, that you have someone who helps, to realize, okay, for which things I can have help, so I don't need to do it on my own, and to be clear with that. And, like what from my retreats, that I say, please don't come in the morning. In the morning, I need my time for myself. So usually I do that in retreats. I say, if there's nothing urgent, please, come after 11 o'clock or come after 10, 11. So I have the morning for myself. And I think that's something, what you need to find out, which time and space you want to protect for yourself. Of course, if there's a emergency, what not often is happening, actually, luckily. In True Journey, there are not often emergencies happening, so that you make sure which hours during the day are for you, and then really taking care for whatever that needs, if some people do yoga or meditation or just relaxing or reading or sleeping, and to make, to put your boundaries around that.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of boundaries so you can create that space for yourself, whatever it is, to recharge. I find that if I were to step into that role, I would need that so I could really tune in into my intuition, to the plants and everything, so I can really be present for people, right? So
yeah. Or, like that when I had True Journey with smaller groups, I did it all on my own. But then I realized at some point I need some people who help. So having someone after ceremony, he stays in the Maloka, so I can go to bed and sleep in my bed, to make sure. That's for me a big thing. Or for practical things, having people to help, that's a big thing. And also, I have to say, I mean, I'm very grateful. Most of the time, people who come to True Journey retreats, most of the people are very aware. You know, I have, it's very rare that I feel like someone is want to take more and more and more and more from me and not really needing it, and I have to say, hey, please, I think that now it's time to sit for yourself and connect with the plants, because the plants are the teachers. Sit with what you feel, um, it's not that often, but I'm also very grateful. But we also have the preparation time. There's a lot of material in the preparation. I think how I make the setup where people already get a chance to resonate. So I think also how you explain yourself in the beginning, or how you make the setup, how you teach people what that is, where they buy into. Also, you already have a certain selection who feels drawn to you and who maybe not. Mm.
And also, I had a question, like during ceremony, when there's a lot going on and you say, well, I need to connect to the plants to figure out what to do, but there's a lot going on. Do you find this is just from so many dieta samas that you can tap into it faster? Or, I don't know if you understand my question. So.
Can you rephrase?
Yeah. So, okay. So you're in the ceremony, there's a lot going on. So you have to help this person and maybe that person. And how do you connect to your intuition, to the plants on what to do, right? Sometimes it might be faster. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. How do you do that? And also maybe I'm assuming that maybe just from your samas, the more dietas you've done, you can connect to it faster, or what do you do to create that space?
Yeah. So thank you for that question. So usually most of the times, it's not a surprise what happens in ceremony. If you are connected to every participant, you know, what happens with the preparation calls, what happens talking, observing, feeling the humans, then thinking about the dosage, having an awareness, oh, this person received a lot of medicine today. You know, there's already a feeling and there's the awareness. Or, you know, like, oh, this person is in a very vulnerable process. You observe and feel the person already since a couple of ceremonies or from the preparation time, first ceremonies. Like for me, I give my best and thanks to universe and the plants and maybe thank you to myself too. I feel where people are at. So usually it's not a surprise if something gets intense. So it's a feeling into, it's having the antennas out and noticing where are people at. And when I hear, like, I notice, like when I have like assistants in ceremony, they don't hear sometimes the things I hear. I hear something and I think, hey, have an eye on that person. But then I noticed my assistant is not at all aware what's happening there. So that's it's I think for me it's a practice and a very big intention. And I had the also the opportunity to learn in big centers where you have like 20 people or 25 people, where it was like a lot of more noticing, okay, having everyone in awareness. Oh, I hear something there. I hear something there. Like I may be sometimes a little over attentive if I hear something, but I really want to have as much as awareness as possible about the whole space. So before something gets intense, I usually know, oh, there's something could bubble up and I can go there, you know, smoke some mapacho, you know, or just checking in. Oh, I hear something there. Okay, I go there. So I usually try to be present and being with the energies, what's happening. Um, and so it's a building up, you know, like usually it's not like a big surprise. I'm with it when it's building up or when there could be something.
Mm. Yeah, that's fascinating. You already do a lot of the work with connecting with the person, you know, with the preparation and also when the start of the retreat, so you can kind of get a feel of the whole
Yeah.
circle. Very
And that's
nice.
very important for me. Very,
Mm.
very important, you know. And it's like feeling the energies, you know, of the trauma, or feeling the energies when the heart is closed, or being aware, oh, someone is very, very trapped into a mental idea. Maybe the medicine will open something what could be challenging. And these things like being aware, like, you know, like usually when the mind is really an irrational thing and you have the feeling there's the energy where the plant could open to a bigger world challenge, you know, or if someone has a lot of armor because of different things happened and not to feel could be a challenge. You know, you get aware when you work with people where maybe could happen some challenging experiences. So you plant that in your awareness why you hold the space for everyone, you know? Um, and very often I'm more focused, oh, there could be a challenge, and then it goes very smooth. So I have more the tendency to have, oh, that could be tricky, that could be a challenge, or maybe I have to be very careful there, but then the plans do it in a smooth way. So I'm more on that side, being prepared for challenges, but then, oh, actually very smooth. It opened up. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, Patricia?
Yeah, just a clarification, because you used the word hear. Did you actually mean hearing through your ears, or was it more a sensing, a seeing, the energies?
Yeah.
There's just a bit more. And I'm actually also very interested in seeing, you know,
Mm.
what do you actually see in terms of the energies? And
I
also
know
what
you're
has happened.
interested in that.
I know, I thought I might as well. And also what actually is happening in people's bodies, what you can see there.
Mm.
I'm just
Yeah.
curious.
Yeah, I mean, perception, what an interesting topic, right? I hear sometimes things, but then when I notice that other facilitators are not hearing that, I also don't know, you know? Like for me, it comes through hearing, but it might be just a little body sound with the mouse, or it might be like, you know, a little quick movement on and touching the mattress in a very quick way where I feel, oh, there is a quick energy happening because someone moves very quickly. That's not relaxed. So I think my hearing is sometimes on a very alert thing that I hear very fine things which for other people are normal, but I feel there's the energy behind, like a, where it's like that was not a relaxed one. There's something. Or if someone does something like that for someone else, maybe that's not something what they hear, but I hear it because I feel there's energy moving. And like the seeing, it's very, how we see things. I cannot express that in words, but there are certain energies sometimes we learn to perceive or see. It's not I see it here in front of my eye, at least not for me. It's seeing it on different layers in the body, connected to trauma, connecting to feeling, thinking. I cannot explain that, but it's, I think, for everyone very individual how our perception shows things. But for me, it's feeling and seeing. It's feeling, seeing, in the alert state, sometimes with hearing, which just pinpoints to things. And I think also we have, maybe the plants or universe or is training us or teaching us certain skills or capacities why we are here in the world, and what is our own, maybe where we went through for ourselves often gets amplified, multiplied, and reflects in some ways and gives us a pathway how we can support others with that. And there might come up some perceptions or feelings or sensing, because this is the way how we can maybe use it through our own learning, healing, how we then are there for others. I don't know. That's, hmm. But for me, there is no separation between psychology um or seeing it on energetically layers, or how trauma creates limiting beliefs, but then also creates this contraction fields energetically. For me, that's all connected and one. Romy, felicitas. Are there maybe there's some questions, comes curiosities? If not, it's also fine. You can just listen and be present here, and I value that too.
Yes, I have a question. While I was listening to you now, when the ceremony starts and you offer the medicine, how do you decide about the dosage? If someone wants maybe a very high dosage, or maybe I remember once I asked for a dosage and you gave me some more. And how do you make this decision?
Yeah. So in the beginning, if someone comes new, we always start with a very tiny dosage, like really, really, really little. If someone comes really the first time to journey, my maestras and myself always agree very little, because people have very different response to it. So we see how is the medicine connecting with this individual. And then, if someone wants more, we always give a tiny little bit more to see and feel how is the medicine and the person working together. And based on that experience, I'm always talking with everyone. How was the medicine for you? Like after the first ceremony, I usually ask, how was the medicine? How did you feel it? What did you experience? And based on that communication and based what I see and feel, we stay with the same or we give a little bit more. And then when sometimes it happens, as you just mentioned, that there's just a feeling, and I think it's, guided with the plans and with the experience. Sometimes there's a feeling to give a little bit more, and sometimes it's even not consciously but with me. Sometimes I feel like I feel a little bit more and I do a little bit more. But sometimes also there's something happening while I'm pouring, and then I think, oh, should I put it back? No, okay. And I feel it often in my belly and my body. Ooh, ooh. But there's this ooh. If there is trust and there's ooh. There is trust, that's what is needed. Okay. And of course, if someone, usually I look at the person, is it okay? Does it feel right? And if someone would say no, do less, you know, I'm usually listening also, of course, to that. You know, sometimes I say like, I feel it could be really beneficial for you. What do you think? And then sometimes the person says, okay. And sometimes no, and then it's a no, you know?
Mhm.
Thank you.
But that needs, as I would say, it needs a lot of experience. So you start slowly and then you
Yeah.
get some experience, how people experience and where and how people are, which take more. And it's a question of experience, I would say.
Yes.
As
And
far as I
also, you
understand.
know, like noticing how someone can hold their own experience.
Mhm.
You know, they're like when someone already had a couple of ceremonies, you know, or even a couple of dietas, then I also get a sense how much a person really can hold
Mhm.
and go through. And there might be a moment, you know, where there is this feeling like, hey, I think, you know, it could be very beneficial if you have a little bit more because you are able to hold that. But then there's also sometimes the situation where someone really tries to stay in the comfort zone, you know, and that sometimes it's okay. Hey, let the person stay in the comfort zone. Don't push too much. It's okay. There's already a lot happening, especially when there's a lot of trauma. But sometimes there's also this feeling like, you know, I think, you know, like breaking through that really, really could offer you a lot of healing, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, or yeah, but usually I take time when I really before I push with the medicine or before the medicine asks for pushing. Usually people had already some ceremonies. I never did that on the first time or even on the second time. I usually don't do that because it's important to build up a certain connection and vibration of holding it.
Okay. Thank you.
For me?
Yeah, I have one more question. What is a good facilitator for you? What should bring somebody into the space, or what are good beneficials to have?
First at all, for me, it's really the own experience. Like I feel like first at all, like really learning, you know, to go like I answer the question for a facilitator in the Shipibo with the Shipibo medicine. For me, own experience, you know, that you learned how to go through difficult situations, how to hold your own emotions, knowing the different emotions, knowing how is it, you know, to be deep in sadness? How is it to be in fear? How is it to deal with anger? How is it to deal with pain? Because I feel only if you know how to feel emotions and how to hold them and how to be with them, you can provide that for others. Same like knowing how it is when you lose your mind to a certain degree. How is it when I'm forgetting who I am? You know, like with ayahuasca, that's a very regular experience, you know, like losing their own mind, losing own identities. Yeah. Getting into a space where you just need to breathe or feel and not knowing what is humanity. Like there are certain, I think, basic experiences, basic, basic, they are quite big and universal. Some people never experience them. But I think like having experienced that, you know, brings something very important into the space to hold others, you know, to feel them. Um, and and then I think it's important to have some skills if it's learned by trainings or if you are a natural one who learned it in your own life, how to guide others, how to ask questions, you know, how to offer them help. If they one thing is holding the space, just holding the space, but then it's another thing when someone asks you questions or shares something with you and needs also some approach from you coming back to support. Like these are the I think two very important things. Holding someone, feeling someone, being there. And the other one, if someone really asks and needs some practices back or approaches back, what to do. You know, I experienced that and that. You also need to have the right wording or angles or approaches to reflect back, to give guidance. Is that answering your question?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you too. Um, I would have like 4 minutes, 5 minutes more. And also I would be very happy to offer that space, more often if people are interested. Um, but also there is time for maybe another question. Yeah, Jacqueline?
Yeah, I just had a question about how do you feel, for me personally, I started before I dieted a couple retreats with ayahuasca alone. So when you get people that have never worked with ayahuasca, do you feel like is that the first step, or no, you can go straight into a dieta?
Yeah, it's a big question. I think it's great if people first do a ayahuasca experience before they start with the dieta. I think it's a very, very good and important step. And sometimes people come and they really feel called to do the work with the trees, and if I have the feeling they already did a lot of healing work and they have a certain consciousness, awareness, and if someone really feels the call, maybe has dreams about it and really feels it, I also let go and say, hey, if you feel you're ready and you want to do that, okay, because it's an individual journey. How could I know better, right, than someone's own intuition? But of course, if I have the feeling there are red flags and the person is not ready and it's not safe, then I also say, sorry, it doesn't feel right for me. Mm.
Okay.
Yeah. Another quick question?
Can I just add to that? And I think really what is very important also is for the participant really to understand the commitment, that once you work with Nuadao, then that really is a very serious commitment. And
it's a very serious commitment. And I always make that very best clear as I can in the beginning, so they can feel into it if they really want to do that. Yeah, totally. Yeah. Thank you all so much for that. The world needs people who want to grow and learn, not only personally on their journey, yes, that too, but also, people who maybe want to support as a facilitator, want to learn to hold space for others on that journey. So I know all of you in your own ways, wherever life is guiding you, I know all of you are on this path, of holding others, supporting others, offering your gifts to others in your own ways. And I feel very, very grateful that, you joined here today. And I would be very open, to offer that space more regularly. Let's see how all flows or how there's interest or, what comes up. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Ute. It was wonderful to be connected this way. Thank you.
Thank you, Ute, for offering. Yes.
Thanks,
You are
Ute.
also so beautiful humans.
Thanks, everyone.
Amazing. Oh, all on one screen. Wow. Okay. Well, take good care. Yeah. Ciao.
Okay.
And if you have any other questions or things coming up to that topic, please send me an email because I'm very open. What happens? I don't know. But to create together or weave something together, please, yeah, feel free to express yourself in an email. Bye.
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 Bye bye.